My husband abruptly filed for divorce, claiming I was a useless wife, and then left me for a younger mistress. He was convinced I wouldn't survive without him, but I only smiled. Now he rings me 20 times a day. My husband James, after 15 years together, slid divorce papers across yesterday, called me a useless wife, and announced he's moving in with his mistress. He felt certain I'd crumble without him. I'm still reeling, yet I've got to let this out. I should have noticed it coming. In hindsight, the clues were obvious, but no one wants to believe the person you've built an entire life with can shift so dramatically. Or maybe they were always that way and you simply refused to see it. It began with tiny changes. 8 months ago, James became obsessed with fitness, hitting F45 daily at 5 a.m., buying brand new Lululemon outfits, constantly checking Apple Watch stats. I felt glad for him. We aren't getting younger and health matters. He even bought me a Peloton for Christmas, reminding me weekly how pricey it was and how I barely used it. Next came late nights at work, the cryptic texts he hid when I walked past, the free Sephora cologne sample. He began remarking that I should try harder with my looks, suggesting viral TikTok skincare lines or Botox like everyone else. For the record, I take care of myself perfectly well. I'm just not into blowing hundreds on La Mer creams or whatever Insta is hyping. Yesterday, while folding laundry, I uncovered a Tiffany & Company receipt in his pocket. We're far from wealthy. Target shoppers, 2018 Honda drivers. A Tiffany slip screamed alarm. Checking our joint account nearly floored me. Multiple withdrawals to an unfamiliar account. Savings quietly bleeding for 6 months. I waited, receipt ready, until he came home. Instead of the excuses or gaslighting I expected, he actually laughed, full-on laughed, then walked to his office, returned with an envelope, tossed it on the coffee table. I was going to wait till the weekend, but since you're snooping, here, he smirked, certain he'd just scored a win. My lawyer says it's generous, seeing as you've contributed basically nothing to this marriage. I stared at those divorce papers while he rambled on about his new girlfriend, Aurora, who takes care of herself and has ambition. Evidently, she's a fitness influencer from F45 to 50K Instagram followers and going places. Meanwhile, I'm the wife who supported his early career, handled the housework, shelved my own dreams because his job came first. Worst part? He'd plotted this for months, already leased an apartment with her in some luxury complex downtown. That Tiffany receipt? A promise ring, bought with our joint savings for his mistress. Let's be real, he said. You can barely work Netflix without me. You'll be calling in a week, begging to reconcile. Consider this a favor. Time to grow up. I neither cried nor screamed, just watched him pack his suitcase, stuffing in all the pricey new clothes. He grabbed his iPad, game console, even the good coffee maker, left me the cheap one. Once he'd gone, I opened my laptop, combed through accounts, saw he'd been shuffling money since January, uncovered credit card charges from restaurants and hotels I'd never heard of, even a Venmo trail that churned my stomach. I phoned my sister Vivian, she rushed over. We stayed up all night sorting papers, making lists. Morning came, I called in sick and booked a divorce attorney. I also froze our joint credit cards. Thanks, random TikTok tip. It's been 24 hours. My phone shows 23 missed calls. First voicemail angry, second threatening. By the 10th, he was nearly begging to talk rationally. First update. Thank you all for the support on my last post. Still processing, but I need to share developments. I've spent the past week crashing on Vivian's couch. Her guest room's toy-filled, but it beats being alone in that house. Reality slapped me when a $30 Amazon order got declined. A quick bank call unraveled everything. James had been siphoning money. Nothing conspicuous, just steady $200 to $300 transfers. Tagged car maintenance or home repairs, stuff I wouldn't question. Now I feel foolish. We've maintained separate checking since marriage. His idea, more practical, yet I trusted him with joint savings, funneling most paychecks toward our future. Right, discovered he'd been treating Aurora to fancy spots. Nothing Michelin, but pricier than our norm. That new downtown fusion place with $15 appetizers, while he'd gripe if I spent $50 at Target on essentials. Going through 15 years of paperwork, I unearthed receipts from places I'd never visited, coffee shops near her flat, movie tickets for dates I wasn't on. He didn't even conceal them, just shoved them in a drawer. Vivian, who works at a bank, helped investigate. Classic financial abuse, she called it. Sounds dramatic, yet apt. Mostly I just feel dumb for missing it. Strangest moment happened yesterday at Walmart. While grabbing toothpaste and shampoo, I bumped into James's cousin, Mato. Instead of awkwardness, he helped me choose a cheap printer for document scans and revealed James had pulled similar stunts with his high school girlfriend. Would have been handy intel 15 years ago. Whatever. James's calls have tapered. 5 or 6 a day now. Tone shifted from rage to pseudo-concern, just worried about you handling bills, he texted, as if I hadn't paid my own phone bill forever. Aurora pinged me on Facebook. We should talk sometime. Left her on read. She knew he was married. No innocent here. Met with a divorce attorney. Found her via a women's support group on Facebook. She raised eyebrows at the finances, said we must act fast to stop him hiding more assets. Shocker came when I logged into our old shared email. Confirmation for a credit card I'd never seen. Not a platinum card, just a $3,000 Capital one. But he racked charges for months. Restaurants, gas stations near her place. I laughed finding Planet Fitness hits. He claimed he attended that pricey F45. Likely to impress her. Guess Miss Fitness influencer isn't bringing in the cash he pretended. Today I opened my own bank account. Plain checking at Chase. The banker lady was great, walked me through the app. It's not rocket science, contrary to James's mantra. Oh, and the Netflix mystery? He'd set up a separate profile to watch with her. Real classy, James. Edit 1. Thanks for the freeze credit advice, already done. Surprisingly simple. Edit 2. Yes, I'm documenting everything. Phone folder full of screenshots. Edit 3. Haven't replied to either of them. Lawyer's orders. Edit 4. Some suggest outing Aurora online. I'm not chasing drama, only my dignity. Second update. This week's been insane. Remember James swore I'd collapse? Karma disagreed. I snagged a basic customer service job, $16 HR, in the same building as one of James's key clients. Pure coincidence via an Indeed listing. First day, elevator ride. Guess who? James, in his important meeting suit, maxed out our Nordstrom card. Aurora trailing like a lost pup. His face seeing me with a laptop bag? Priceless. Aurora looked confused, wondering why her successful man turned pale. More good news. The new manager, Matthew, appreciates my detail orientation, asked me to organize spreadsheets. While learning Excel, thank you, YouTube, I applied those skills to catalog every shady transaction James made, handed neat folders, bank statements, credit card bills, screenshots, to my attorney. She actually smiled, perfect. No need for a forensic accountant. During mediation, James swaggered in expecting a wreck, instead found printed evidence of every dubious expense. Hotels near Aurora's apartment he dubbed business. His expression while the mediator read them? Better than any revenge plot. And it got sweeter. That Peloton he claimed I never used? I logged in, saw workout logs of him and Aurora riding at our place. On days I was at Viv's. I slid that printout across the table, James stuttered. Real karma struck when Aurora discovered James isn't wealthy. He's still paying off that Tiffany promise ring. Turns out it's from a knockoff site. How do I know? Aurora Instagram messaged me, sans drama, with a flood of screenshots, promises of buying her a car. With what funds? Moving into luxury digs, nasty remarks about me, ammo for the divorce. I thought you should know who he is, she wrote. I'm done with his lies. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. Professional revenge beats messy drama. Cherry on top, James's mom phoned yesterday. She'd been watching rumor mill swirl. She apologized for enabling him and dropped a bomb. James got fired. Expense report padding. All those dates? Charged to the company card. Part of me wanted a Facebook blast, but no need. He's imploding solo. Instead, I focused on my studio apartment. Bought plants from Home Depot still alive. Learned to mount a TV via YouTube. Even started real cooking. Turns out I'm not the kitchen disaster he claimed. Best revenge? When his newest Instagram account messaged me, I just marked spam and resumed my cooking video. Third update, James's firing was only the start. Last Tuesday, Starbucks run before work. I overheard two people discussing someone busted for personal expenses on company cards. Then I caught James's name. He'd run the grift at his last 3 jobs. I know because Aurora started talking. To everyone. Once James lost income, the promises dried. No Cheesecake Factory, no Lululemon sprees, no weekend mini trips. Unable to pay for that fake Tiffany ring, he hit her limit. Aurora didn't just rage, she strategized. She possessed photos, tons, of his forged expense reports. He'd bragged to her, saved in Google Photos, waiting for applause. She posted a TikTok. No names, just story time and glimpses of receipts. It went viral locally. Ex-coworkers recognized the format. Meanwhile, my small win, that joint Amazon account he hovered over, discovered he'd used it to buy Aurora gifts. I returned everything still within the window. Refunds hit my card, original payer. He noticed only when Amazon emailed rate your purchase prompts. Yesterday, Target run for storage bins. Bumped into James's sister, Katie. She hugged me, spilled tea. James had borrowed money from their parents for investments, actually funding the Aurora fantasy. Parents found out via Aurora's TikTok on mom's Facebook, big Olive Garden blow up. Dad reclaimed their spare key. James's response, total meltdown, DMs to everyone, new Insta accounts harassing Aurora, calls to old job, midnight begging at parents' house. Karma wasn't finished. Remember he managed our shared cloud because I was disorganized? I logged in, downloaded old photos, discovered a folder of early James Aurora chats discussing post-divorce plans. Forwarded to attorney, she laughed. You're making my job easy. Absolute peak. Aurora's follow-up TikTok showcased the fake ring, screenshots of the sketchy site. 50K views. James tried visiting my workplace begging reputation repair. Security blocked him. Now his lobby scene stars in our security cam highlights. Petty move. Yesterday I rotated every streaming password while watching Ring camera pings as he attempted logins. Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, ESPN+. By the third alert, I was giggling. His dream Tesla Model 3 lease way over budget got repossessed this morning from the Motel 6 lot where he's been crashing since Aurora evicted him. I witnessed from the Dunkin' drive-thru, just grabbing coffee. Sometimes the universe gifts you moments. Edit 1, yes, still archiving everything for court. Edit 2, no, I'm not sharing Aurora's TikTok handle, not stoking more drama. Fourth update, I hadn't planned another, but recent events feel like closure. 6 months since James called me useless. Divorce finalized. No courtroom theatrics, just beige offices and signatures. James looked rough. Same Nordstrom dress shirt he once flaunted, now wrinkled and snug. Seems the fitness influencer dream fizzled. Interesting note, his firm didn't press charges, they simply withheld final pay and bonuses. Blacklisted him, moved on. Big companies hate public mess. Aurora left last month, no viral send-off. She simply moved back to her parents' suburb. Life's dull when the boyfriend can't fund Cheesecake Factory. She messaged me to explain, I left her on read, some stories need no epilogue. James rents a single room across town. Tesla long repossessed, now driving a beat-up Honda, the same model he mocked me for wanting. I'm still in customer service, landed a $5 SAR raise, small but mine. I taught myself taxes via TurboTax. Turns out they're not the enigma James claimed. Ran into his mom at Target. Instead of dodging, we chatted. She said they refused him a loan. He needs to grow up. She even helped me choose inexpensive, nice throw pillows for my studio. Place finally feels homey. Home Depot plants 2 of 3 alive, HelloFresh meals, weekend Planet Fitness visits. James keeps spawning new Insta handles, usually after drinking. You'll regret this, you can't make it without me. Block, delete. Funny bit, found his ancient password list in our shared Google Drive. Literally named passwords. I simply forwarded it to Sister Katie to tell him to change them. Met a coworker named Matthew. Also recently divorced, we have cafeteria lunches, nothing serious. Real kicker. Last week at Dunkin', I overheard ex-colleagues of James's say he's been begging for his job back. Showed up once, lobby staff let him stand until he left. His new reality lacks fancy gym. He now uses the same Planet Fitness as I do. We once awkwardly dodged each other in the parking lot. Aurora's back on dating apps. Key contacts ghost him. Meanwhile, I'm handling every chore he said I couldn't. Paying bills, fixing minor repairs, managing my budget. Ordinary adulting he convinced me was beyond me. While cleaning last weekend, I found our wedding photos. That girl straining to be what he wanted? I hardly know her now. The most quietly satisfying moment wasn't a grand revenge scene. It was yesterday at the bank, depositing my paycheck. Yes, I still prefer doing it in person. The teller, same one who helped open my solo account 6 months ago when I was shaking, smiled and said, "You look happier." And you know what? I am.